Recently, React has been one of the kings of web development frameworks, but every framework has its own drawbacks, including this one. Next.js is a development framework built on top of React which supports both server-side rendering and client-side rendering, as compared to React which only supports the latter. If you don't know what these are, you can check out my previous video on the differences between client-side and server-side rendering. Welcome back everyone. This video will be a short introduction to the file structure and features of the Next.js, a search engine optimized framework built over React. So without further ado, let's get started with. In order to create a new Next.js project, open up the terminal and type in npx create next app. Give it a name and your Next.js project will be spun up in no time. Now let's open up the folder in VS Code. This is just my preference, but you can use any code editor you prefer. Now before we get into the file structure, let's start up the localhost server by running the command npm run dev, and once the server is set up, this is what the boilerplate page looks like. Coming to the file structure, first we have the .next folder, which is just a build directory that is created when you launch your localhost server for the first time. It handles how your Next.js app build runs on your system. Next, we have the obvious node modules folder, which holds all of the node packages installed by the npm. Third, we have the pages folder. One of the unique features of Next.js is that it substitutes for the React router and handles all page navigations itself. When we look into the pages folder, initially we see the index.js file, which is basically the main page of the web app, and the app.js file, which provides a basic template for your web app to load with. For example, if you want every web page to start with a navigation bar, then you can just create a navigation bar component and import it inside this file. This makes sure that every web page loads with an initial navigation bar. Finally, we have the API folder, which is used to set up server routes. This means that you can write and include your backend code along with the front-end JavaScript bundle, which is sent to the client side. The public folder usually contains web page assets like images and icons, and these can be accessed directly from the web page using the URL bar. The styles folder contains CSS styling for the whole web page. The globals.css file acts as a global style sheet for the whole web app. This means that any CSS code written in this file affects each and every web page. All other CSS files which the user creates for custom styling must have the extension .module.css at the end of each file name. You can even use Sass instead of CSS. Just make sure to install the node module using the npm package. Finally, we have the ESLint.rc file, which performs style checking and linting for Next.js. We've got the git ignore file to ignore specific files while committing on GitHub, the Next.js config file which contains additional configurations for Next.js, the package lock.json file which contains detailed information of the node packages that are installed in the whole package, the package JSON file which contains commands and dependency version information, and lastly, we have the README file which explains that this project is the Next.js project and can be topped up with additional information. This video has been an introduction to Next.js file structure and workflow. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe. Soon we will be launching our Instagram page. Please do be on the lookout for the same. Thank you for watching the video, and we will see you in the next one.